Hello everyone. So we are taking a look at the 2.6 lesson practice. So here's our summary. It says equations, tables, and graphs are all different ways to model a situation. The graph of a linear equation represents all the pairs of values that are solutions to the equation, which means if we plug them in, it'll make a true statement. Linear equations can be written in different but equivalent forms. You can rearrange equations to help reveal new information like the x-intercept, the y-intercept, which we can see in a graph, a table, or a description of a situation. So this example says, let's say that a lemonade stand sold lemonade for $3 per cup and cookies for $2 each. So these are our two variables. How much lemonade are we selling? And how many cookies. The stand made $12 in total. So our L is going to represent the number of cups of lemonade sold, and C is going to represent the number of cookies sold. So this situation can be represented in many different ways. Our equation says 3L plus 2C equals 12. 3 times however many cups of lemonade plus 2 times however many cookies were sold is going to equal $12. We can also solve this for C and have it in our slope-intercept form, which says that the number of cookies is 6 and then minus 3/2 times L. So for every minus 3 cookies, that's 2 cups of lemonade. And here's a table as well. So we're going to look at a bunch of practice problems looking at these different formats and representations to show us linear functions. So let's look at slide 2. It says here's a graph about school supplies. A teacher spent $21 on packs of stickers and packs of pencils for her class. Stickers cost $1.50. We see that in our x-axis. Pencils cost $3.50 per pack. There's our y-axis. Show or explain how you know that this graph represents this situation. Well, one way we could say is if this is 0,6, right? 0,6 represents x is 0 and y is 6. So we have 0 stickers and 6 pencil packs. Well, 6 times $3.50, 6 pencil packs equals $21, which is how much the teacher said that they spent. So that works. Let's look at 7,3. This is saying that x is 7 and y is 3. So this is 7 stickers, 3 pencil packs. So we have 7 times 150 plus 3 times 350. Put this into our calculator. And we get $21. So again, it works. The last point that we see here is 14, 0, which means x is 14 and y is 0. If x is 14, x is our stickers. So that means we have 14 stickers and 0 pencil packs. 14 times $1.50 is 21. Yay! So it works for all 3 coordinates that it would add up to 21 total dollars. Let's look at slide 3. Here's a graph about school supplies, same situation. Select a coordinate and explain what it means in this situation. So we just looked at 3 of these, so I want you to select one of these and explains what it means in this situation. So you're going to do this slide independently, and we just did all of those in the last slide if you want to go backwards. Let's push to slide 4. Which line represents 12 equals 3x plus 4? So I'm going to take this equation and I'm going to solve it for y, because that helps me figure out what the y-intercept is, and then we can think about the slope. So I'm going to subtract my x term. And we have 12 minus 3x equals 4y. And then I'm going to divide everything by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3 minus 3/4 x equals y. And then I'm just going to flip this so that it's y equals 3 minus 3/4 x. So 3 is our y-intercept right here. So this is our y-intercept. So we know that it's definitely not line C. And the slope is negative 3/4. So we have a negative slope. So it's going down 3 and over 4 to get to that next point. Down 3 and over 4. So that is line B. And using what we just talked about in my explanation, you can show or explain how you know that it's going to be line B. And then push ahead to slide 5. Which equation is equivalent to, let's type it out, 15x plus 3y equals 2. Okay, first thing, when we're solving for y, move that x term. Since it's positive, we're going to subtract it. 15 minus 15x is 0. So we have 3y equals 2 minus 15x. And then we want to get rid of that 3. It's being multiplied, so we're going to divide everything by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we have y equals 2/3 minus 15 divided by 3 is 5x. So we have y equals 2/3 minus 5x. Right there. Beautiful. Slide 6, when you're ready, match each equation with an equivalent equation. So we have these 4 equations in standard form. I will do one of them, and I want you to try the other ones on your own. So here's the one I'm going to do. 2x minus 3y equals 10. So we want to solve for y, so we're going to subtract 2x on both sides, move that x term. Opposite operation, 2x minus 2x is 0. So we have a negative 3y. Don't forget that it's a negative 3y. Equals 10 minus 2x. We cannot combine those. It's not 8x. 10 does not have an x, so we cannot combine them. Then we're going to divide everything by negative 3. And we get y equals 10 divided by negative 3 is a negative 10 over 3. Negative 2 divided by negative 3 is a positive 2/3 x. So be careful here when you have two negatives. If you're dividing, it becomes positive. So our equation is here. So there's the blue one. Take some time, sort the other 3. Make sure you got them all sorted. Pause the video, and then push to slide 7 when you're ready. Slide 7 says Jordan had a bake sale. Muffins were $3 and cookies were $2, and Jordan earned $24. Here's a graph of Jordan's situation. Select all the combos of muffins and cookies that they could have sold. So muffins is X, cookies is Y. So 0 muffins, 8 cookies. That's this point right here. 0, 8, that would work. 9 muffins, 2 cookies, that would be this point, which is not on the line, so it's not going to work. 2 muffins, 9 cookies. Here's 2 muffins, go up to 9. This is on the line at 2, 9, so that one works. 6 muffins, 4 cookies. So here's our 6 muffins, go up to 4. No, that is not on the line. 4 muffins, 6 cookies. Here's our 4 muffins, and we go up to the line at 6 cookies. 4 comma 6 is on the line. So we have 3 of those selected. Okay. And when you're all set, push ahead to slide 8. A tourist is trying to predict the price of their next taxi ride. The tourist recorded their last 3 rides in the table. When they went 2 miles, it was $10. 4 miles, it was $17. 7 miles, it was $27.50. How much can they expect to travel 10 miles? So we could make this little table, right, that they have here, where we have miles and then we have price. So when it was 2 miles, it was $10. 4 miles was 17. So we notice this is increasing by $7 for every 2 miles. So if we add another 2 miles to go to 6, 17 plus 7 is 24. And then let's go to 8. 24 plus 7 is 31. And then 10. And 31 plus 7 is 38. So we just found the slope, really. Our change in y was adding 7 each time. And our change in x was adding 2. That got us to $38 for 10 miles. Beautiful. Slide 9, when you're ready, select all the equations where x equals -2. So if we take the equation, 4x equals 4 plus 2x, and we're plugging in, doesn't let me hit enter, -2 for x. So we have 4 times -2 equals 4 plus 2 times -2. 4 times -2 is -8. 4 plus 2 times -2 is -4. And then we have 4 plus -4 is 0. This is a false statement, so it's not the first option. I'll do one more with you. Let's look at 2 times x plus 5 equals x plus 8. So we're just plugging in x equals -2 and then seeing if we have a true statement. So we have -2 plus 5 equals -2 plus 8. -2 plus 5 is 3. And -2, and then 2 times 3 gets us 6. And -2 plus 8 is also 6. So this one is true because we got a true statement. There is one more equation here. I want you to find it out of the 3 here. There's one more equation, so plug in -2 for x and find which of these is correct. Pause the video, and then when you're ready, push ahead to slide 10. We have -3x plus 4y equals 28, and we're solving this for y. So we're going to move that x term, oopsies, by adding 3x to both sides. And then we get 4y equals 28 plus 3x. And then, of course, we're going to divide everything by 4 to get y equals 28 divided by 4 is 7. 3 divided by 4, we can keep that as a fraction, as 3/4 x. And then go ahead and plug that in. And then your last slide, I want you to do this one on your own on slide 11, spiral review. Same thing, you're solving for y. So just like we did on that last slide, you're going to solve for y here. And then you can check your answers and make sure that everything is all set and submit it into Schoology. Nice work, y'all.